sir. My name is Emmanuel C. Podadara IV from MENP 22A2, and I will report Chapter 2 Anti-Pollution Procedure in All Associated Equipment, Module 10. And in this module, we have volatile organic substance example like hydrocarbons, oxide hydrocarbons, or fuel oxygenates such as methylene tert butyl ether, MTBE, and we have emission of VOC due to incomplete combustion. In this, incomplete combustion leads to emittance of carbon monoxide, nitrogen oxide, sulfur oxide, volatile organic compound, and help create ground level ozone fossil fuel. Typically burns incomplete, releasing detrimental byproducts into the atmosphere, including evaporated or unburned fuel. And also we have VOC emission from fuel petroleum industry. The main sources of VOC emission in crude oil are storage tanks and leading process for transport of crude oil in the oil tanker. During the loading process, light hydrocarbons from the crude oil vaporize and occupy the space between crude oil and the roof of the storage tank. Emission of VOC during loading and crude oil washing. During loading of crude oil tanker and the subsequent vessel transit, VOC may be released to the atmosphere together with the inert gas. The cargo tank atmosphere initially contains nitrogen carbon dioxide or CO2, other non-methane compounds, and traces of VOC from previous cargo. And we have 4 criteria that impact the extent and rate of evolution of gaseous non-methane VOC from crude oil and its subsequent release to atmosphere. The volatility or vapor pressure of crude oil, burning or separation of excess amount of gases can also reduce the vapor pressure of the crude oil, and this in turn lower the volume. As third option, the temperature for crude oil transportations and those crude oil vapor pressure can be reduced. And the second, the temperature of the liquid and gas phases of the crude oil tank. Crude oil at ambient pressure of temperature can produce coexisting gas and liquid phase, water and asphaltiness, and may also present but assume or relevant to fire. Thought they do create problem for flow assurance. And the third criteria for this impact is the pressure settings or control of the vapor phase within the cargo tanks. Vapor emission from flammable liquid that actually burn. Stabilized crude is typically tested, transported, and sold in liquid phase, and associated vapor losses during handling and transport, if any, are not well characterized. Vapor losses, if any, may not cause measurable financial impact from the sales perspective. And we have the fourth criteria for this impact: the size of volume of vapor phase within the cargo tank. A temperature of 115 degree Fahrenheit and a pressure equal to pressure setting of the cargo tank PV valve should be used in calculation to determine the factor that limits the transfer rate. That's all, sir. Thank you.